And we're back for another hike. This one here is the Hockley Valley section of the Caledon Hills section of the Bruce Trail, and this portion is going to be a loop today. It's about 10 or so, between 10 and 11 kilometers. I know it does connect with, as I mentioned, the Bruce Trail, and later on this year I hope to do a bigger section trip of the entire Caledon Hills section. So I always like scoping things out a little bit to see kind of what I'm getting into before I go and do the whole big multi-day hike. So just a day hike today, and should be a good one. It's about 6 degrees Celsius, nice sunny day today, and here we go, let's do it. Really liking this trail so far. Lots of different elevation gains, some nice views here, and just some sort of simple trails for now at least. And just a beautiful day. I cannot believe how nice it is for early March. Definitely not lousy Smarch weather, that's for sure.
Oh, lousy Smarch weather.
So I have a story that I want to share from a hike that happened before that I didn't post the video, but it really rattled me a lot. So anyway, pack a lunch on this one if you want to stick around for the story. I was at the Hilton Falls doing a hike and stopped at an intersection, and at the intersection an elderly gentleman, he was about in his early 60s, came out from one of the cross trails that was at the intersection and was like super rattled. And he was lost. He'd been lost, I guess, the whole morning, couldn't find his way. And at this point, I was about 6.5K into a 10-kilometer hike or so. And I told the guy, okay, you know what, I'm going back to the parking lot. If you want, you can come with me. Now, I didn't know this guy at all. He seemed nice. I sized him up, like, just through chats. He was a mild-mannered, small, elderly guy. But man, he was freaking out. He had some sort of dementia or something, because he went in between periods of being comfortable and confident. He looked like a good hiker. He had all the gear on, to absolutely freaking out. Whenever we would go somewhere, he would just lose his mind about us being lost, run off in the wrong direction. I'd have to go and get him. Buddy, come back here. What are you doing? No, come with me, come with me. And to the point where I was getting rattled about where I was going, because I wasn't super familiar with the trail myself. And, you know, you just got to stick with your guns when it comes to those situations. I remember some other hikers sharing stories that you don't ever really want to trust someone for directions 100%, because you never know where they're coming from, their actual knowledge of the area. This guy, he was just something else. I've never experienced quite a situation like this, and at least I was happy to get the guy home safe. We got back to the parking lot, but definitely some dementia on the guy. He was telling me stories that contradict them. 2 minutes later, didn't know where he was, what was going on. It was crazy. It made me second guess actually hiking for a little bit, because people can be kind of awkward, and hiking 4.5 kilometers with a complete random crazy ass stranger made my day pretty crummy. So you know what, just things to consider. But I was happy to be able to get that guy safely home, because he said he was about 15 minutes from using his SOS for someone to come and get him. So, you know, there's always something exciting out on the trail. A simple tip that has saved me in many times from losing things, right here. Keep your gloves together. It's such a good thing. You got two all the time now. Booyah. I was just thinking, I hope that everybody's been getting through the winter okay. You know, the winter can have definitely some difficult emotional effects on people. And you know, in Ontario this year, there was a stat that kept floating around about midway through February that we had only had a combined 30 hours of sunlight the whole winter at that point, which you know, for us is a bit uncharacteristic. So when it's gloomy and gray and rainy and bad news hits you, everyone has these things, right? So I hope everybody's doing well. It's always nice to hear the flow of running water off in the distance. I need some water for my soup. It's actually one of the things that I forgot was my water filter today, but I do have a small water bottle, and this should do me nicely for my soup. And a nice little spot to stop for lunch. Oh! Mustache. Oh no, it looks like I have tuberculosis. Yeah, I want some soup, soup-ba-doop, soup-ba-doop, soup-ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop, soup-ba-doop. Oh, some pulled pork and spinach with some spicy beef. Spicy beef. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Oh yeah, soup is ready. But before we get into the soup, oh, it's brew time, that's brew time. You know it is time. It's brew time. Excuse me. The pulled pork addition to this soup just makes it so good. We had it last night. It's my favorite. As soon as we have it, I'm like, keep the leftovers just for this. And this spinach, I fall in love with. I can't believe it. Oh, that's so good. Oh yeah. Now with lunch all done, we're back on the trail. Got another, I'd say, probably 7 kilometers or so. There's really so much water along this path. It's amazing. This is such a good calming route. The water looks so nice and clean too. Like gross sheens or bubbles or foam. There's a lot of little meandering streams here, branching off. And they're kind of close to forks of the credit, so it makes sense. Someone's got a cold head. Oh, Bart's toque. Bart in 1992. Oh man. Bummer, lost glove. See, if they would have just clipped them together. Toe-to-so. A toe-to-so.
It's kind of person to say a toe-to-so. You know what? A toe-to-so.
Seeing how I'm planning on doing a multi-day hike later on in the year, I try and carry extra stuff in my backpack when I go on day hikes like today, just to kind of simulate, you know, getting a little bit more weight on me. Like I'll carry a 5x7 tarp in there. I've got a bunch of cordage as well. I even have 2 extra coats in there. One just like regular coat and a raincoat. So just trying to keep it a little bit of extra weight. So yeah, when the time comes, I'm not like, holy crow, what happened here? So I find it helpful for preparation. So I was just thinking, my heritage, my background is Polish, and that makes me a Pole. And some might say that's even why I am attracted to other Poles. And that's why I love me my trekking poles, baby, oh yeah! Second hat here in the Lost and Found. No wonder they call them toques. Oh, look at this jalopy we got here. How the heck did it get out in the middle of in this forest? It's amazing. Hilarious. Hey man, is my driving okay? Think we're parked, man. Another little thing I've observed today that I thought may be useful to know, at least I found out, is when you have your hat and your sunglasses, make sure they're kind of a little loose even. Because if they're tight, when you hike, at least with my bison-sized melon, it swells. And when your hat is tight and your sunglasses are pressing hard on your temples and your hat is tight, like makes your head hurt a lot. So if you can keep it nice and loose and just like sitting comfy, it goes a long way. All right, well, that's it for me. I'm done the hike for the day, back at the start here, and it was amazing. It was an excellent hike. I took it for granted a little bit off the start, and you know, it actually was a pretty tough terrain. Lots of up and downs, some great views as well, lots of water and bridges. The weather was amazing. I think it turned out to be about 12 or so kilometers. I ended up doing an extra loop towards the end. Yeah, I'm pooped. It was fun as heck though. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you around. Cheers.